Neuroplasticity is the ability of our brains and our nervous systems to change due to internal or external triggers. Our neurons can change and reorganize their structure, functions, and connections. And this happens not just when we are young, but also when we are older, even beyond 70. This flexibility, versatility, and resilience is apparent in many areas, be it recovering from brain damage after a stroke, adapting to a changing environment or circumstances, or growing and developing due to learning new skills or improving existing ones through practice, effort, and hard work. Why is this important to know? If your brains are flexible, resilient, and versatile, that means you can be flexible, resilient, and versatile as well. Your fate is not determined by a set of innate skills and abilities. You can change and you can grow. It's not easy though. Of course, it involves a lot of effort and hard work. Also, not everything in your brain is modifiable. But it is a fact that your brain is tremendously resilient and versatile, much more than you can imagine. And I will now go through some of the research that reveals that. Right from the 18th century, naturalists have discovered the difference in the brains of domesticated animals versus wild animals. I have detailed some of the early research in the PDF attached at the end of this section. We humans have an amazingly complex brain. It has its faults and limitations, plenty of them, but it also is capable of amazing things. I have given a simple overview of the human brain and the evolution of our understanding of it in the supplementary PDF at the end of this section. fMRI brain scans and brain research clearly reveal that there is a significant variation in brain structure and growth patterns between different people. Even as toddlers and young children, different brain regions develop at different rates. There is an amazing variation and diversity in which specific brain areas grow and which don't, and at what rate they do. And this diversity is mostly attributable to the differences in experiences, exposures, training, learning, and skills developed. It's not just child brains or young brains that are constantly growing and changing. Adult brains constantly grow and change too. In 1995, neuropsychologist Thomas Elbert published his work on string instrument players. His research showed that maps in the brain, each finger of the left hand which they used for fingering, had its own brain network map. These maps for the players were much larger compared to those of non-musicians, and also compared to the musicians' own right hands, which were not involved in fingering the strings. This demonstrated that their brains had rewired themselves as a result of their many hours of practice. In 2006, a team of researchers led by Eleanor Maguire, a professor at the Institute of Neurology at University College London, conducted a study involving a group of taxi drivers and bus drivers in London. Structural brain MRIs were done for all participants. Then they were analyzed and compared between groups. The results revealed that the posterior hippocampi of taxi drivers were significantly larger compared to those of control subjects and bus drivers. The posterior hippocampus stores a spatial representation of the environment and can expand to accommodate elaboration of this representation. Taxi drivers have to develop a more elaborate mental map of the city, since they do not use fixed or restricted routes like the bus drivers. What the study also found was that years of navigation experience correlated with hippocampal gray matter volume for taxi drivers, which means that the more years of navigation experience, the more the hippocampal gray matter volume. Their brains were growing and developing with experience and expertise. All this neuroplasticity research reveals that our brains are agile, flexible, and adapt very well to change. which means that we are agile, flexible, and can adapt well to change as well. We just need to put in the time and effort to develop the necessary new skills and maybe unlearn and relearn some skills. We are very capable of adapting ourselves to any change or new situation.